Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are taking a break from Ninjago-oriented content to take a look at this guy right here. This is set number 10302, LEGO Optimus Prime. This is a brand new adult collectible brought to us by the LEGO group, and it obviously combines two of my favorite things throughout the history of anything ever, LEGO and Transformers. For those that don't know, I am also a massive Transformers fan, and as soon as LEGO announced this guy, as soon as LEGO confirmed his existence, I knew that no matter how much it was going to cost, I needed to get him. As a fan of both LEGO and Transformers, this set is a dream come true. The set has 1,508 pieces and retails for about $170 USD, which is kind of pricey for the piece count, but it's honestly not that bad, especially considering that the model does indeed convert from robot to truck. We'll take a look at truck mode later on and transform the thing from truck to robot so you guys can see how that looks. And as I've said, this set is insane. The fact that this even exists is fantastic to me. I want to spend the video talking about this guy in great detail, looking at things about this model that I enjoy, and also maybe touching on some things that might have needed a little bit more improvement. This guy is not 100% perfect, but he is pretty darn close. And without further ado, why don't we jump on into this review by taking a look at the box itself first and foremost, and then we'll talk about the model itself. Also, really quick, this is not trying to be a professional LEGO review, keep that in mind. I'm just a guy that likes to talk about things that he enjoys in the most casual way possible. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. It might be a long one, but I hope you guys enjoy hearing my thoughts on LEGO Optimus Prime. Here we go. So starting things off by taking a look at the box here. This box is insanely awesome. I love the original G1 Transformers logo right up there. Looks terrific. As you can see up there in this corner, the model does indeed convert. There you go. And you see an excellent image of Optimus Prime on the front looking really epic, really awesome. As you can see, this is, like I said, set number 10302. And again, it does say 18 plus down here. This is one of those adult-oriented LEGO sets, so there you go. This is not meant for children, keep that in mind. On the side of the box, yeah, my box is kind of dinged up. LEGO kind of dinged up my box, not really sure why. Can we get that to focus? There we go. Nice Transformers logo right there. Original classic 80s Transformers logo. Yeah, my box is really dinged up. I don't know why LEGO decided to ding up my boxes, but they did. They did. They decided to mess up the boxes. You have some product shots down here. Comes in at about 13.5 inches tall, about 7 inches wide. He's a very big boy. You have some accessories right there. We'll take a look at those later in the video. And as you can see up on top of the box, like I said, the model does indeed convert, making this one of the very first LEGO Transformers. Not Creo, but LEGO. And I think overall this set is really cool. It's awesome that it transforms, but I want to save all that until we get to the actual transformation itself. Overall, guys, in terms of the box is really nice, really snazzy. Not much else to complain about in terms of the box. It's a box. What do you expect? You have a nice side profile image of him too, with the Hasbro logo, as you can see, and the LEGO logo. If I could focus in on that. There you go. Really happy that these two collaborated to give us this set, because it's awesome. It's really cool. But enough about the box. Let's get to the meat. Let's get to Optimus Prime himself. All right, so starting things off in truck mode, I think that is a very good place to begin, actually looking at the guy. In truck mode, this is a very good representation of a G1 Optimus Prime. I think this looks fantastic. You're going to have to forgive me here for the lack of, I guess, centering on the thing. It is kind of hard to move this around because of the rubber tires, which are rubber, as usual. High-quality rubber LEGO tires. They look fantastic. Overall, the truck looks amazing. Very good representation of G1 Optimus, like I said. This is the view from the back. You can kind of see his little eyes peeking out from under there. It's kind of cute, but it's obviously not ideal. But that's neither here nor there. It's not really a huge deal. Overall, for complaints for the truck mode, it's really hard to find complaints. Overall, the truck mode looks fantastic. I think overall the colors on this figure, or this model rather, are done really well. I love the shade of blue that they chose, the nice dark navy blue. I was never a big fan of when Optimus Prime designs utilized a lighter blue. I love the dark navy blue. You also have these things down here, which I imagine are some part of a truck. I don't know trucks, so forgive me, but they can do that. That's more for transformation. We'll get to that here in a bit. I do like how this is silver, though. Again, colors overall are really well done. The front of the truck, that is awesome. That very much looks like Optimus Prime right there. Of course, you can open the windows and play a little bit of peekaboo with the Matrix. We'll get to that soon enough, don't you worry. The grill is done up really well, and also the overall, like the whole front of the truck, it looks great. There's also this piece right here, which is, you're supposed to swap that out once you try to transform to robot mode. You're supposed to swap it out with this piece. I don't know. To me, I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really mind which one I use. I tend to do that, you know, just replace this one with this one. I don't really care. Like I said, really doesn't bother me all that much, but they do give you the option for those people that do care. The smokestacks are done really well in this nice silver color. And also you do have some Autobot logos. There we go. Those are printed on the side of the truck. In robot mode, they become the shoulders, as you'd expect for an Optimus Prime figure, especially one based on G1. Yeah, really good placement right there. A part of me is a little bit bothered that maybe it's not center, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me all that much. Like I said, all in all, the truck mode is pretty perfect, rolls really well, as you would expect. Even though this isn't really a toy per se, it's meant for adults. It does say 18 plus on the box, so there you go. It does roll really well, so you can just sit there and do this. It's kind of fun. Not too bad. And overall, guys, like I said, truck mode is pretty spectacular. Nothing really too much to complain about in terms of truck mode. The wheels also have printing on there. There you go. The rims have printing or whatever. Again, whatever you call those. I don't know. I don't really care about cars and trucks all that much. I do want to bring in MP10, which is often considered to be one of the best Optimus Prime figures ever, based on G1. And you can see how these truck modes compare with each other. I think overall the Lego representation is really well done. Maybe the lights on top, the cab, are a little bit too obnoxious. Again, the lights on the MP10 figure are a little bit more subtle up there. And also this is the Takara Tomy version, so they're not painted like the Hasbro version would be. But hey, whatever works, right? Again, overall though, in terms of representation, I think the G1 Optimus Prime design works really well in Lego form. And I think the Lego Optimus Prime absolutely nailed the truck. Again, comparing it to MP10 right here, there's not really too much of variation going on here. They even have that nice gray stripe going throughout the cab. And while sometimes it doesn't line up the best, it's still looks pretty good. Before we get into transformation though, I do want to talk about the accessories a little bit. You do get Optimus Prime's blaster, which is done up really well. This little thing flips out right there, so you can actually have him hold the thing in robot mode. We'll look more at this once we get to the actual robot. Excuse me, there's a hair on there. That's disgusting. But this can indeed fold up and get stored on the truck. You got to flip it upside down, just kind of set it in there, and yeah, that's basically what you do for that. It's kind of how it works. Might have it a little bit misaligned there. Sometimes you got to be a little bit finicky with it, but whatever. You get that look going. That's not too bad. You can also take the jetpack for Optimus Prime. Again, we'll look more at this in robot mode as well. You can take the jetpack and simply store it on the back using these two bricks and this stud and the one on the other side, and you just kind of attach it onwards there. If I can get it on there. Sometimes it's a little finicky, but there you go. And you can have that look going if you wanted a jet-powered Optimus Prime truck, which I don't really prefer. But overall, I think it's cool that you can indeed store accessories on the truck. That's not too bad, but I think we're about ready to get into transformation finally. So why don't we go ahead and get rolling, no pun intended, with that. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to do this on camera, but it might not look all that great. Again, I'm not a professional Lego reviewer, but the first thing you got to do to transform the thing, according to the official manual, is to take off this piece and swap it out for the robot mode bit. That'll just be his belt as per usual. There you go. Just reconnect the cab, all things considered. That is step one, getting rid of this piece, which in my opinion, you can choose which one you want. It honestly doesn't matter to me which one you use in robot mode or truck mode. I like that they included that though. As I said, it's good for the people that actually do care. And now the rest of the transformation pretty much is a normal Optimus Prime transformation. If you guys have transformed to G1 Optimus Prime figures before, it's very similar to what we had on other Transformers figures for Optimus Prime. Maybe it's a little bit more simple, but first thing you're going to want to do, or the first thing that I like to do, is take care of this whole section right here. Flip up that entire grill piece. That gets put up like that, as you can see. If you can see, maybe you can't see. I apologize if you can't see, but that gets flipped up. Then you're going to want to flip up these hands, which of course are the hands in robot form. You get those on either side there. You're just going to want to flip those up. Then you got to take out the arms from either side of the robot. There you go. Twist them around like so. They are on ratchet joints. Again, I apologize for how messy this transformation is going to look on camera. It's a lot simpler and a lot cleaner in real life, so keep that in mind. Then you're going to want to flip around the arms like that, very similar to how an Optimus Prime figure would actually transform. And now we need to cut over to the legs. For the legs, what you're going to want to do is flip up the feet. There you go, those flip up. I love how this mechanism works as well, flipping down the feet. I don't know why, I just think that's super cool. Then you're going to want to take the entire waist section and ratchet it upwards like that, ratchet it forwards, so you get that type of look. Then you're gonna spin around at the waist. If I can make it work, might need to do that part off camera. There we go, but you're gonna want to spin around at the waist. For some reason, mine likes to disconnect here, right in there. Mine likes to disconnect sometimes, not sure what that's about. Might just be my own incompetence. Then you can actually set him on his feet, and we need to adjust the camera, raise it up a little bit, if you will. But while we have the camera in this position, why don't we split the legs, which are just held together with some clips, and you can spread those as much as you want, you know, but you want to get a good stability with the thing, so I like to do that. You can also adjust these as well to make them point straight on, and now we can raise the camera a little bit and take a look at the upper body and finish that up. We also readjusted the lights a little bit, that way we can get a better view at the upper body. After you straighten out the arms, you can basically just do whatever with these. You're going to want to flip down these pieces by the elbows. Again, similar to the transformation of MP10. There you go. Flip those down, straighten out the arms a little bit. For the hands, you're going to want to come down here for the hands, if I can show you really quick, and flip out the thumb. That's about all you need to do right there for the hands. Flip out the thumb, call it good from there. Same on the other side as I break that one. You don't want to break Optimus Prime's thumbs. He would not appreciate that. There you go. Now we can do a little bit with the grill. The grill just kind of folds down like that, and you can basically adjust this any way you see fit. What I like to do is I like to push these in to give him a more slender appearance on the body. Same deal with the bottom of the truck bumper. There you go. That's basically what I like to do. Again, but you can do that any other way. It's a Lego. Do what you want. And finally, what you're going to want to do for the last step is come up here to the top of the figure and flip up the beautiful noggin. And there you go. That is Optimus Prime in robot mode. And overall, I think he looks amazing in robot mode. I think overall, this is a beautiful representation of Optimus Prime, both in truck and robot mode. Not sure how to feel about the hip wheels on an actual Optimus Prime figure. Those might flip up and tuck into the torso somewhere, like is the case with MP10. But this Lego version doesn't really need to do that, in my opinion. It looks fine as is. What I don't think looks fine, though, just kind of getting this out of the way right here. I'm not a huge fan of how gappy the back is. I mean, yeah, that's not the best back in the world. That's not the best looking back ever. I do like the blue stripe going down his rear there, very similar to how it looked in the G1 cartoon. Sometimes, again, the G1 model was really inconsistent for a lot of the original Transformers series. The original 80s cartoon is not as good as people say it is. Don't at me. Except for the movie, you know, the movie's fantastic. But we do have a couple of options back here to fill up that gappiness. One of the options is to actually bring in the jetpack, and here's what I like to do. You bring in the jetpack, which is actually built up real nice. That's an Autobot logo right there. Looks fantastic. You can also adjust these little things down here. They don't have a huge range of motion, but it's okay. It's manageable, right? I'm not going to use this as a jetpack. I will use this as a backpack, though. You see two clips right there. You got two little ports right there. What I like to do is just clip the backpack, or the jetpack, onto the back and make it a backpack that fills out the back really nice. And I could always take off these thrusters if I really wanted to. They don't bother me that much though, but I genuinely think that makes for a better look overall. And even when you're looking at this guy from the front, that looks a lot more full. He doesn't look as hollow. I will say he is a very hollow figure just by design. Flipping up the grill, that is very hollow in there. And that little red bit back there, that red piece, that falls apart on me a lot. Not really sure what to do about that, but that is a complaint that I do have with this set. That little red piece back there is not as stable as it might appear. But ultimately, when you flip this down, when you get everything put into place, when you adjust these, depending on how you like, you do get a very, very well-shaped Optimus Prime, at least from the torso upwards. In terms of the legs, just kind of panning the camera down a little bit so you can take a look at the legs aren't too bad either. Again, I love the color that they used here. The blue is a spectacular shade of blue. You also get some nice silver detailing down in here. That looks quite nice. The thighs do indeed have some stickers on them. That looks pretty cool. Those are stickers, unfortunately, not really prints, which again is kind of unfortunate, I guess you could say, but it's not the worst thing ever. All in all, the legs look fine. No knees on this guy though, and I know people are going to complain about the lack of knees. Some people might even expect me to complain about the lack of knees, because if you guys don't know, on Lego mechs and robots and everything in between, I think knees are pretty much mandatory, but on this guy, I will pretty much give him an exception. The reason why is because this guy, you know, despite not having knees, he actually transforms, and that in and of itself is glorious by nature. I never thought we would see a Lego Transformer, and I'll give the knees a pass, honestly, because this thing can transform, which again, I never expected to see from a Lego Transformer. That is ridiculous right there. You can also have him hold his gun. I'm just going to zoom in on his arm really quick so I can show you how the gun works. The gun itself, like I said, it's not too bad. It very much looks like Optimus Prime's original blaster, and I like that a lot. You can flip open this little section right here. That'll allow Optimus to hold the gun, except he doesn't really hold it. What you have to do is you kind of have to cheat a little bit. You see these two studs right there? Well, that connects to that, and you just got to connect it in there, kind of line it up if you want, and you have to kind of cheat a little bit. But after fiddling with it for a while, you do eventually get this look, which isn't too bad. It doesn't really look the worst in my opinion. He's certainly not holding the gun though. It doesn't actually plug into his hand, just kind of plugs into his wrist almost, so he's holding it by the wrist, which is kind of awkward, but when you're looking at it from afar, it really doesn't matter all that much. You can also wrap his fingers around the handle if you really want to, whatever you want to call that. And overall, I will say in terms of accessories, he is pretty much set. If you don't feel like having Optimus Prime hold his gun, you can indeed give him his Energon axe, which is included as well. Really cool accessory. Love how that thing is built. From this side, it doesn't look all that great, but from this side, it actually looks pretty cool. Like how that looks overall. Very much reminds me of his Energon axe that he had in that one episode of G1. It is a very common accessory that comes with a lot of Optimus Prime figures though, including, like I said, MP10. Keep on referencing that. We'll get to the robot mode comparison here in a little bit, but in order to attach the Energon axe to the thing, you need to basically pull off his hand, which is connected via a Technic piece, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that's how you do it, if I'm recalling correctly. And once you've actually removed the hand, you can come in with the Energon axe and kind of just plug that into his little thing there, that little hole that's basically assigned for the Energon axe. And there you go. You can kind of get that look going, which honestly, if I can zoom out a little bit, honestly, that's not that bad of a look. I don't mind how that looks at all. Very much looks like he's wielding that Energon axe very much in a proud manner. Not really too shabby there. It's not my preferred accessory with Optimus Primes though, to be honest. I much prefer to display him with the blaster, but I do like how they do give you the idea, or at least the option if you want, to have him wield the Energon axe. I know a lot of people really like the Energon axe. It's a very common accessory with Optimus Primes, like I said, but it's not my cup of tea, if you will. It's not my go-to. It's not my preferred accessory. Speaking of accessories with this guy, let me just go over those really quick. You also get a pink Energon cube. Nothing too crazy about this thing. It's literally just a pink cube of Energon. Terrific. It's very simple, very easy. Nothing really too much to say about that. You also do get this plaque right here with his name on it. Unfortunately, this is a sticker. Kind of sucks that it's a sticker, but hey, at least it's kind of cool. Commander function, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Indeed it is. Look at this guy's stats. He is like stacked to the max there. Pretty easy plaque. A lot of these adult collectible Lego sets do come with plaques nowadays. It's meant to make it less toyish, I assume, but I don't know. To me, this is a really fantastic toy as much as it's a fantastic display piece. I think it works in both functions. Probably shouldn't give this to the younger kids though. They might get a little bit too handsy with it, might break some stuff. Why don't we go over articulation first on the robot, then we'll talk about some other stuff that I want to take a look at in regard to the robot mode before we move on and compare it to MP10. For head posability, it's on a ball joint, so you can swivel it all around every which direction. You can look up a little bit, not that far though, can look down a whole lot. There you go. Yeah, that's basically it for head posability. For the arms, they are on ratchets at the shoulders, so you can do that. You can move forward if you like. There you go. Clickety-clackety ratchet joints. There you go. You also have a ratchet at the elbow. Fantastic. For the hands, you have the swivel. There you go. And the fingers can articulate. The thumb can do its thing. Whatever you want to do for that. For waist rotation, I'm not sure if there is waist rotation. A little bit there, but I'm not sure if that's intentional. Might be unintentional. Again, mine likes to fall apart. Not sure why. I also forgot on the head you can do that with the ears. I don't know why you would want to do that with his horns or whatever. It's totally fine. Again, waist rotation, pretty much non-existent there. He does not have any knees, but he can kick. His legs can indeed kick. There you go. A little bit scary there in terms of kicking. Not really sure if I want to do that with mine. Again, mine likes to kind of fall apart, and that's a really big complaint that I have about this guy. If I had to complain about one thing, stability is non-existent. This guy likes to fall apart a lot, which makes transforming the thing not very fun. Also, in terms of the feet, really quick, let's just get those out of the way. For foot articulation, they can move down for transformation. You get a little bit of ankle pivot, not too much there. Again, just a little bit, and that's pretty much it for articulation. Again, not a very well articulated figure, but the articulation where it is necessary, I think. You don't need an articulated figure to make me happy. I'm just happy that we have a Lego Transformer that transforms. That is unreal to me. Also, in terms of other stuff you can do on Optimus Prime, there is one accessory that I do want to talk about. That, of course, is the Matrix. If you open up his chest cavity there, yeah, the Matrix just kind of sits in there. You can take it out if you want to, if you're dying, and if you want to give it to Hot Rod, which, yeah, we're not going to give this thing to Hot Rod, don't worry. But yeah, that's the Matrix. All right, it's not my favorite design for the Matrix. I want to redesign that, but it is cool that he does come with the Matrix, and it is cool that it just kind of sits in there, sits in his chest, and you can close up his window pectorals if you like, and there you go. You can call it good from there. I like that. Also, let's talk about that head, which I'm going to decapitate him really quick, so we can take a look at the head on its own. The head can come off pretty easily. This is an excellent head sculpt for Optimus Prime, or a head build rather. That is terrific. In pictures, it kind of seemed like the mouth was a little bit too flat on the face. Maybe I wanted to extend that a little bit, but in person, it's actually not that bad. You also get stickers here for the crest and stickers for the eyes, which they really nailed those G1 eyes, looking spectacular there. And overall, this isn't too bad of a head build. Again, you can do this with the ears if you so desire. Not sure why you would do that though. And I like this quite a bit. Looks really cool, looks really nice. I think overall, in terms of an Optimus Prime head, they definitely nailed it there. That just connects to the top of the body like so. I also like how his shoulders are presented. I like how the smokestacks look on this guy. He looks strong, he looks sturdy, he looks tough. You also have prints here for the arrows and prints here for the Autobot logos, which, you know, he has two of them. If I wanted to nitpick, I could complain and say that Optimus Prime should only have one on this shoulder, but hey, I'm not going to be that guy. I think it's totally fine that he has two Autobot logos, though it's not my traditional look for Optimus. It works, all right? It looks fine. Maybe I'll modify this other shoulder when I eventually do modify this thing. But overall, even though there are a couple of things about this guy that I would label as imperfect, I guess you could say, I still think this guy overall is fantastic looking. I love Lego Optimus Prime so much. I'm so happy that we finally have Lego Transformers, because this is a really good idea, and if Lego could make more characters, maybe even Soundwave, if you guys made Soundwave, it'd be all over. You guys would have direct access to my bank account. But no, Soundwave would be awesome. I'm just happy that we have Optimus Prime. If this is all we get, I'll be okay with that. If this is all that we get from Lego Transformers, I'd be more than happy. This guy is awesome. This might be my favorite Lego set of all time. I love that it transforms. I love how it looks. I think overall, this is Optimus Prime. This is G1 Optimus Prime. Even though there are a couple of things, like I said, that make this figure, I guess, maybe not 100% perfection, that is okay. And really quick before we wrap up the video, I promised you guys that I would compare it to MP10 once again. Here we have MP10 in robot mode, all ready to go. And right away, as you can see, the actual representation is still really good. I think it still looks like Optimus Prime, obviously. Only little minor thing about this guy, Lego Optimus Prime, that makes him different from MP10, besides the fact that he's made out of Legos, is that he is much taller than MP10. That is the official size comparison right there. According to the box, Lego Optimus Prime over here is around 13.5 inches tall, which is insanely massive. That's another really good thing about this guy. If you're looking for a large Optimus Prime that can transform, get Lego Optimus Prime. MP10 is very much an excellent figure, some would argue a perfect figure, but he's not that big compared to Lego Optimus Prime, who stands almost twice his height. That is insane right there. And I'm not kidding either. Looking at the feet, yeah, He's very tall. He's a very large boy. I will say, in terms of likeness, again, Lego Optimus Prime, just comparing him to MP10 over here, really close. Really good in terms of how they look in terms of design choices. I can tell that the Lego designers tried their best to make a super accurate Optimus Prime that would transform and was also made out of Lego. And just for funsies, let's bring in little core J, just so you can see the size comparison between J and Optimus Prime. Yeah, not even close. J would get stomped. It's also not like in scale between humans and whatnot. You know, obviously this Optimus Prime would be a little bit too big to be put into like a minifigure scaled Lego city, but MP10, that's about the right size, I'd say. I'd say the scale between these two is a lot more appropriate than the scale between these two, that's for sure. And also really quick, for another final thing, we got to talk about this instruction booklet. This instruction booklet is awesome with the nice Autobot logo up front there, looking real nice. Flipping through the instructions quick, again, it does show you how to build the thing, obviously, but you also have some cool stuff in here too for Transformers fans, such as one of the original comics, it seems, or one of the original comic representations of those characters. Maybe this is a sign of what's to come. Wouldn't that be something, right? If we got Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream. I don't know how they do Megatron, considering, you know, Lego doesn't like guns or whatever. Autobots convert and roll out. Then they just have some facts in here about Transformers stuff. Every now and then throughout the instructions, they'll provide a little bit of a factoid as well. For example, right here, when you're building the Energon Axe, it says a little bit about the Energon Axe, first used in More Than Meets the Eye Part 2. Oh man, I love that episode, right? No, the original G1 series is not that great, like I said, except for the movie. The movie is fantastic, but overall the instructions are really easy to follow, really well done, and again, they do include some things for Transformers fans in there, which I appreciate as a huge Transformers fan. Like, this stuff is cool. This is awesome. This instruction booklet is insanely awesome in my opinion, and I just can't get over how cool this set overall is. I can tell that it was put together by Transformers fans for Transformers fans, and I have to appreciate Lego for putting in this much effort. And to give my final thoughts on this guy overall as a Lego set, as a fan of both Lego and Transformers, I am blown away by this guy's sheer existence alone. I love that this guy exists. I'm so happy that he does exist. And this set overall is perfect, or near perfect, very near perfect in my opinion, very, very close to perfection. And I gotta say, this is quickly becoming one of, if not my favorite Lego set of all time, toppling my previous favorite Lego set, which was the Ninjago movie Destiny's Bounty. I don't know, this one is just that much more impressive to me. It means a lot more to me because I was a fan of Transformers for much longer than I've been a fan of Ninjago. It just means a lot that this thing exists and that they pulled it off this well. This thing could have been a lot worse than it actually is. This thing could have been awful, but I'm so happy that it's not. This thing is beautiful in every conceivable way. I can't believe how awesome this guy is, and I'm going to keep talking up his praise because this guy is definitely worth it. If you guys are a fan of Transformers and Lego, this is basically a must-have. I'm considering buying another one just so I can have a display of both truck and robot. That would be pretty fun, and once again, I think it looks awesome next to actual Transformers figures. For example, MP10 here. I think that looks amazing. Like, that display. I kind of want to make an Optimus Prime display now. I don't know how I'm going to display this guy. I don't know what I'm going to do to display Lego Optimus Prime. He's really huge, really massive, and even though he does cost a fair bit, he is going for $170, as I've said earlier in the video. It's worth it. It's totally worth it, in my opinion. Buy this guy if you're a fan of Transformers and Lego, and again, this is just a dream come true. Thank you, Lego. Thank you very, very much for making this. I am super grateful as a huge fan of Lego and Transformers. Keep going. Please make more. That would be very, very exciting. I'm willing to buy whatever you make. Please make more. That would be fantastic. Overall, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Obviously, you guys know that I love this thing, but if you guys have this set as well, let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. Hopefully, the review was easy to follow and somewhat watchable. I apologize if I was kind of fumbling around in today's video. Again, the actual set itself is quite massive, so it was kind of hard to display and show off, but hopefully you enjoyed nonetheless. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this set if you guys have it. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. My name is TannerFishies, and I'll talk to you guys again later. Peace.